Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Rush with Earthshine. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my show. It is September 5th. It is 4:06 p.m. out here in Oregon, Beaverton, Oregon specifically, is where I'm broadcasting from. Hope you're doing well wherever you are, whether it be out on the East Coast or in the central part of America, where most of my family and high school friends are. Hope you're listening tonight, having a good afternoon, and out here on the West Coast. Beautiful day out here today, just gorgeous. Was talking to my neighbor earlier today, and just across the balcony kind of a thing, and was just amazed at how beautiful the summer has been out here in Oregon. It is not quite like this all the time. I think we've gone about 45 days without significant rain, which isn't really that good, but it's just unusual. It's an unusual summer, I think, for everybody, and I hope I haven't heard too much about the drought out in the Midwest and the South. I think the South and parts of Illinois and Indiana got some relief from the Hurricane Isaac that went through, but a tropical storm by that point. But I don't know if it was enough to relieve everybody. I know one of the concerns out here will be if we don't have the moisture that we need out here, then the snowpack up in the mountains, which is a big water supplier for us out here, then our next summer will be a pretty dry one as well, as far as water rations and stipulations on what you can do watering your lawn. But what can we do about it? Not much, so we enjoy what we can, and I'll talk about the weather a little bit later in the show. I think this will be a two-part show today, not a four-part show like I did yesterday, although I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love playing music for you guys, and my statistics on my on the website have certainly gone up, so I appreciate your patronage and appreciate your listening to the show, which is typically or mostly a hobby at this point. Really enjoy reading news to you guys and going over the weather, and every once in a while I'll go on a rant and a rave a little bit, which I do have a little bit of that today as well. I guess I'll go with the top news story today. There are 3 dead and 20 injured in a major earthquake that has damaged the Costa Rica coast. This was from NBC News. It was updated at 3:35 p.m. Eastern Time today. 3 people have died, 2 of them from heart attacks, when a major earthquake hit northwestern Costa Rica on Wednesday, according to authorities. At least 20 people were injured and 2 others were missing, but the Red Cross said these numbers could rise as damage assessment teams reach more areas. The quake, initially rated at magnitude 7.9, was then revised by the U.S. Geological Survey to 7.6. It struck at 10:42 a.m. Eastern Time at the depth of 25 miles, about 7 miles northeast of Nicoya, the town of 15,000 people, near the Pacific coast. This is also 90 miles from the capital of San Jose. Government buildings, including the National Assembly complex in San Jose, were under evacuation orders, according to the local newspaper. Thousands of youngsters were sent home from school as a precaution against aftershocks. A Pacific tsunami warning had canceled the tsunami warning for Costa Rica, Panama, and Nicaragua. A man died in Nicoya when a wall fell on him, according to Vanessa Rosales, president of the National Emergency Commission. He was not immediately identified. A second person, identified only as an elderly man named Smith, died of a heart attack in San Antonio, in one of the provinces of Costa Rica. And a third person, a woman from the Pacific coast town of Carrillo, also died from a heart attack during the quake. The director of the hospital in that area said that the woman was about 55 years old and had the surnames Rodriguez Mercado. That spokesperson said the hospital was treating at least 20 people from quake-related injuries. There were other minor injuries also reported around the area, although the nature of their injuries weren't immediately known. A hotel resort was damaged when a pipe had collapsed, and it was not determined if any of the hurt individuals were tourists or hotel employees. Power was out in another province. This is where a hospital was evacuated for a structural review amid visible signs of damage. And a bridge over the Susio River collapsed in the town of Serapique, according to local media as well. The National Volcanological and Seismological Observatory and Universidad Nacional reported more than 60 aftershocks between the magnitudes of 2 and 4 in the hours after the quake, which is not to be unexpected. This is pretty interesting. There has been a rash of earthquakes, I think, on the Pacific Rim. Many of them in California, down in the LA area. So certainly this is the second day in the row that I've read a story regarding earthquakes in the area. The USGS said that overall the population in this region resides in structures that are vulnerable to earthquake shaking, though some resistant structures do exist. So our thoughts go out to the people of Costa Rica, and as they assess the damage, and hopefully find that there aren't very many people with too harsh of effects or fatalities from the earthquake. I understand Costa Rica is one of those places in the world where Americans tend to retire. The cost of living in Costa Rica is quite inexpensive, and I think from what I understand, many folks, many Americans and others go down to Costa Rica to retire or semi-retire. So let's hope that any of our American citizens that are down there are okay, or anybody else for that matter. Also in the news, Facebook stock has jumped up 4.8% after the CEO has pledged not to sell. Facebook shares jumped 4.8% Wednesday following a disclosure that its CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, won't sell stock in the company for at least a year. That more than wiped out the losses of a day earlier when the stock hit a record intraday low of $17.55. Facebook ended Wednesday's trading up 85 cents to $18.58. Zuckerberg holds about 504 million shares and options and has been eligible to start selling them in November. The company currently has about 692 million shares eligible for sale. The concern had been that if Zuckerberg flooded the market with additional shares, prices would sink even further. The stock, which is labeled FB, is still less than half of the $38 that it went for in the social networking giant's initial public offering on May 18th. Since the IPO, Facebook stock has been down on 46 trading days, up on 28, and unchanged on 2. Facebook revealed Zuckerberg's commitment in a regulatory filing late Tuesday. It also said that 2 of its board members, Mark Anderson and Donald Graham, have no present intention to sell stock beyond what they need to cover taxes. Even without Zuckerberg's share, up to 1.2 billion more shares could enter the market over the next several months, including those from employees eligible to sell on October 29th. Investors have been concerned about Facebook's ability to keep increased revenue and make money from its growing mobile audience. On Tuesday, Morgan Stanley analyst Scott Devitt cut his target price on the stock to $32 from $38, saying its mobile advertising revenue is just starting to grow. Morgan Stanley led Facebook's IPO, and Devitt said that an overweight or buy rating on Facebook stock. So once again, Facebook has entered the news with its increasingly